So seeing as Fright Nights Festival is so close to us now, I thought I'd go back and look at all of the Thought Park Fright Nights 2020 teasers we have been given over the last couple of weeks. I know I missed the teaser video. I'd actually kind of held off on making a video on the teaser video that they released last week. Just for this specific moment, they've been drip feeding teasers on Twitter, which we'll also look at in today's video. So yeah, we've got a lot to cover. After I've looked through all of the teasers themselves, I'll then kind of have a little kind of afterthought on it and kind of have a conclusion of all the different things I think could be happening with obviously Fright Nights 2020, also known as Fright Nights Festival. It's crazy to think that it's literally just about 2 days away now until the event starts. It's really weird. Obviously there'd be a lot more construction updates. In a normal standard year of Fright Nights, obviously a lot of the stuff for this year it's gone up very late, which isn't necessarily a bad thing. It's just kind of taking it a little bit longer, obviously, or a little bit shorter, obviously mainly because they are scare zones. But yeah, it's come around really quickly and it is absolutely crazy. Okay, so as always, I'm going to get out of the way. If you guys do go on to enjoy the video, make sure to like and subscribe. Obviously, I set a goal last video for 800 subscribers. You guys absolutely smashed that, so thank you so much to every single person who has subscribed, liked, views, just any support whatsoever. It really does mean a lot to me. And yeah, hopefully I'll continue on making videos now. Hopefully there won't be any more breaks. So with all that said, let's get right into the video. Okay then, so I'm obviously now on YouTube on the Thought Park Fright Nights Festival 2020 teaser. Obviously this dropped last Thursday. I was there during the premiere, interacting with people. That was a really funny experience. Obviously it is only 30 seconds long. There's a lot to unpack within this 30 seconds, and I'm going to kind of go through it frame by frame. I'm not going to long it out too long because I know quite a few of you guys have probably already seen breakdowns of this on various other channels. The main juice of this video will be looking at this new stuff on Twitter, because Thought Park have been posting some cool new little teasers on there as well. So first of all, obviously if I can get my positioning right, obviously we have the brand new Thought Park Fright Nights logo. That's obviously been there, done that. But the first main shot we get, which is more interesting, obviously the shot before is Screenplex Cinema, but we really know what that's going to be like anyway. There wasn't anything new other than obviously the actors. However, this is one of the more interesting shots of the whole trailer. We can obviously see this is the Festival Arena cast. Obviously it looks very interesting. A lot of people saying they could be very similar to Freak Show over at Alton Towers. However, this does kind of, you know, revalidate stuff that we never actually thought would even be within this. It looks like it's gone from more of a darker tone to something like Freak Show. Obviously it's very colourful. This looks more dark and bleak. We can obviously see two actors here. One, obviously, we're both wearing face masks, which has been disguised very well. Obviously we've got like a fortune teller and obviously this creepy looking person with a mask, which is very cool as well. After that, obviously we get one of the coolest shots in the whole trailer. We have one of the crows. Obviously we can kind of see a hand kind of reach out, but however this is the more important shot of the crows, because a little bit later after this teaser was actually put out, Thought Park actually confirmed this will be the leader of the crows. Obviously this will most likely be identified with the scarecrow hat that he has on, or she has on. They will obviously be the leader of the pack, kind of walking around doing various things, scaring people, which is terrifying just on the screen, let alone in real life, especially when you can see the eyes kind of glinting in through the mask, which is very cool. Moving on a little further, obviously we can kind of see him kind of pulling across the grass, which I'm hoping they actually use to the advantage. Obviously there's quite a bit of that around the Thought Park area. Next we obviously see a shot of Creek Freaks Unchained, which got me very excited with the chainsaw, and what looks to be something towards platform 15. I know this chair was spotted at the finale exit, I'm pretty sure, through some construction updates. This is really cool. However, next we obviously see the brand new actor, or the actor's costume for Roots of Evil, with the kind of UV paint, the mask kind of with the roots. This looks very interesting and cool, and I can't wait to see this in real life, because in the dark, in the woods, it's going to look really creepy, but also cool at the same time. We know this similar UV paint has been used throughout the whole maze itself on various buildings and things. So yeah, I'm really excited to see the colour palette for this maze, as well as seeing a lot of the actors in person as well. So you move past this actor here, obviously looking creepily into the camera, and we next actually see a shot of the new Creek Freak character, which has been confirmed to be the Buckwheat's mum. Obviously last year we heard stuff referring to the Buckwheat's mum, but apparently now This is her in the flesh. This was also confirmed by Thought Park on Twitter. We've got some more shots from within Roots of Evil here as well. Obviously you can see an actor just kind of lurking in the distance there that I didn't catch first time around. Here we get some new shots of the Fearful Arena cast. This guy looks like he could be the main ringleader. Obviously we have other members of the cast around as well. Obviously we're seeing the same masked figure there. Another kind of fortune telling looking person and a creepy kind of looking ghost figure. I think this could be very, very scary and very, very cool at the same time. It's going to be cool to see like a central area of Fright Night, especially with the stage. Hope that will be used, as well as kind of pop-up stalls and things as well. I think it could be very, very cool. So obviously we see this awesome shot with them all standing together, and then just afterwards I'm pretty sure we see some more stuff from Screenplay Cinema. Like I said, very, very similar to last year, except obviously we're going to be getting these brand new actors, which I do believe is the director from Studio 13. And obviously here we get another shot of the Roots of Evil cast before it glitches and then turns to the Thought Park logo. So that's pretty much it for that teaser. However, there's loads more to discuss on Twitter, as Thought Park's been a bit sneaky and started drip feeding some content and some information on there. Okay then, so moving on over to Twitter, we've got some more very, very interesting teasers to go through, and they actually hold a little bit more information than first let on. So obviously, as you can see, they've been posting some cool Fright Nights pictures. Obviously these are promotional images probably taken during after hours of the park, which are looking very, very cool and kind of give you a taste of what Fright Nights is going to look like. The first of these tweets say the following: meet the leader of the crows. You'll find it roaming the island with its fellow flock this Halloween. Trouble it, you'll never know when or where. So, trouble is, I'm terrible at, if you haven't gathered, I'm terrible at reading stuff, I'm sorry. However, the thing to take away from it regardless is this will be the leader of the crows. Obviously this is the person that we saw at the beginning of the Fright Nights video teaser, obviously the one that kind of pulled the bushes aside, and I think they look terrifying, honestly. Just seeing that at the night time, obviously you get a good look at it there. But whoa, that is going to be terrifying, I'm not going to lie. However, obviously it's cool to see a brand new promotional image from that, and that does look like that's been taken a lot longer into the night than obviously the last one has, and that will give you a proper look of what it's going to look like when they're actually roaming around. Next, we obviously have some more stuff with the Fearful Arena. Now this image doesn't really say too much. Obviously it's very, very similar to the image we got within the teaser itself. However, I will read the description out, like I said, because they do kind of give a little more insight and what they normally would do. Introducing the Compre and their freakish cast. Witness their cabaret of carnage in the Fearful Arena. Wheelie shaking in fear or grinning in awe. Now obviously this just shows a very similar image to what we saw, but in a little bit more light. Obviously this does look like they've put a spotlight on them, which is very, very interesting. Obviously same cast, looking very, very creepy and cool. It does give me a mix between Big Top as well as kind of this darker kind of tone that some of the Big Top cast actually took on within the 2018 and 2017 season. However, that's all for that image. However, something even more interesting we have here is something to do with the Swarm invasion. This obviously says here, he said the end was coming, little did we know he meant now. The Swarm has invaded, leaving a path of carnage and desolation in its wake. Obviously, this is Les Coogan, or I can gather that this is Les Coogan. Obviously, when it said he said the end was coming, if you didn't already know, back when the Swarm was being marketed, they had this character known as Les Coogan, who kind of went around warning people with a very similar sign to this, telling them that the end is coming. And now, obviously, the 8 years on, the sign has now been changed to the end is now. And I'm sure these will be the main cast we see roaming around, you know, the Swarm area. I'm assuming there'll be army people there as well. Would make very much sense, similar to when the Swarm actually opened itself. We can see the brand new themed mask for this character, however, which I didn't notice first time looking around. It just goes to show how well themed these actors' costumes are. However, this looks really, really cool. It's got kind of the main kind of ripped, kind of jagged looking clothing, very dirty looking, which obviously fits in with the Swarm's theming. You can see some smoke coming out from beside the ambulance here, obviously to give it more atmosphere. And I genuinely think this could not necessarily be scary, but really kind of be breathtaking in the fact that it'll just be like theming on top of theming, which I'm always a big fan of, so it's a big plus for me. However, the most recent one we've got, it was only 19 hours ago. This is something to do with Creek Freaks Unchained, and I found this very, very interesting. It says the freaks of the creek have hacked their way out of their gruesome sawmill and are wreaking havoc on the town. come and say howdy, my buckwheat is dying to meet ya. Now, obviously, this is a character, I'm pretty sure the actor who actually plays this was in the cast last year, correct me if I'm wrong. However, I confirm this is the buckwheat's mum, or the mother of the buckwheats. Is very cool. Obviously, we saw a reference to that at the beginning of the maze last year, but now we can meet her in the flesh. I don't know if that's a thing that's fortunate for us or unfortunate, depending on how terrifying she is. Obviously, you get this really cool shot of another one of the themed masks, which is obviously a gas mask. Along with a cool chainsaw as well. So it's looking very, very cool. Obviously, a lot of these costumes will be having these masks kind of woven into the way they're looking, and it does look very natural. A lot of this stuff is very themed, and I can't wait to actually see it in person. It's going to feel very samey in a good way. It's not going to feel overly different with all the safety precautions and PPE that the actors are going to have to wear. Okay then, so that is obviously all of the teasers that we have for Fright Nights this year at the moment. Obviously, there's probably still going to be a couple more teasers to go onto Twitter. However, I didn't really want to leave this video too late, because obviously then all my speculation and everything may already be corrected or incorrected by the time that Fright Nights actually starts. However, we still have a juicy amount of footage and different kind of videos to actually break down here. So let's get right into it then. Obviously, the first one and the main one that I really want to talk about is obviously the Crows. Now, the Crows, obviously, if you didn't already know, are a brand new roaming team at Thorpe Park Fright Nights this year. Obviously, the last roaming team we actually got was obviously with Big Top Showtime. Obviously, they were roaming actors that kind of walked around the park in between when Big Top Showtime was actually going on in the Dome. So it's really, really cool to see this kind of develop over time. Obviously, we've been seeing some new construction. There's been some crosses that have been put up. Seemingly to be like scarecrow mannequins to kind of trick people, which is a very, very cool idea that I'm very, very excited to see, hopefully in person. Obviously, there are random locations, but they do start from 3 PM. So yeah, you most likely are going to see them at least once in your visit. I'd be very, very surprised if you don't. However, yeah, they look absolutely terrifying. Obviously, like I said when I was breaking down the trailer, you can kind of see the eyes within the mask. When you kind of look at that on paper, that kind of sounds like it could ruin the immersion of it. But it looks absolutely terrifying just seeing those eyes in those masks, and I honestly think it could be one of the best things this year at Fright Nights. I just think there's so much potential, there's so much mystery surrounding it, and I honestly cannot wait. So yeah, that's the Crows. Obviously, that's all the information we're probably going to get on them until Fright Nights obviously starts, but I'm happy with that amount of information because I'm glad that they're keeping it a mystery. Another main thing I do actually want to talk about, and something that is just like the Crows, very much shrouded in quite a bit of mystery, and that is obviously the Festival Arena. Now, obviously, we saw a couple of shots of that within, obviously, the teaser trailer as well as on Twitter. However, we still don't really know the aesthetic of the actual arena itself. Right now, it's going to be kind of derived from the Oktoberfest stuff, so I would imagine the stalls are mainly going to stay there, as well as the stage. Saying they'll probably swap out the buntings. Obviously, the big banners that they have will most likely be promoting the Festival Arena. But I do think it's very, very interesting now that we've actually seen these cast of characters. Like I said, they do look more akin to Big Top Showtime in the way that they're kind of dark clowns. Obviously, if you experience that and experience some of the later versions of Big Top, they obviously had these darker kind of looking clowns that wasn't as colourful as the other ones, and that was kind of a rivalry between them when Big Top Showtime was going on. It kind of reminds me of that a little bit, but obviously expanded outwards. It looks like we're going to be getting the creepy masked person, which I'm very, very scared of, as well as the kind of ghostly looking people. It looks really, really odd and interesting, but obviously it does describe in the description of the actual event itself, or the actual kind of arena itself, that they are meant to be freaks. They're not meant to be normal looking people, and obviously they've done a really good job with the costume design. Obviously they've blended the masks in perfectly, and honestly I cannot wait to experience the arena. I think it's going to give such a good atmosphere in the park, and yeah, I just can't wait to go and experience it. As well as obviously a lot of the scare zones having quite a few kind of teaser time, if that's what you want to call it. We also got some brand new footage of Roots of Evil. This is my most anticipated thing, I would say, maze-wise this year at Fright Nights. Obviously there is only 2 mazes, obviously with it being a brand new IP and a brand new maze, even though platform is kind of mirrored. I'm very much excited to see what they actually pull off with this. Obviously, within the costumes, we can kind of get a tone of what the initial maze is going to feel and look like. Obviously, we saw this kind of UV paint mixed with these kind of leaves and stuff. It looks really, really creepy. Will make for some very, very good scares, potentially in the dark. Obviously, if a lot of the stuff in the maze is painted with UV paint, if you've then got actors with it as well, they're not going to be very distinguishable when you're walking through. So that would be very, very good opportunity for a lot of the actors to kind of jump out at people and surprise them in a way that hasn't really been done before. And it looks like a lot of things this year's Fright Night, it has a bit of potential. Obviously, most recent years, obviously, we got akin to knowing about a lot of these scare mazes before they kind of operate, obviously, when Fright Night starts. However, this year, it's been completely flipped on its head with scare zones as well as the scare mazes. It's kind of just made it a little bit more mysterious, which I think is a very, very good thing in terms of getting hype up for the event. And I'm a lot more excited than I ever thought I would be this year, because I was kind of going into it like, it's probably not going to be as good. But now we've seen all this teaser footage and seen all this different stuff within construction updates and things, I'm very much excited to not only see what's within Roots of Evil, but with everything else at the park as well. Okay then, so they are my kind of main points that I wanted to take away from the breakdowns. Obviously there's loads more to talk about, but obviously, you know, timing wise, I didn't really want to delve too much into it. We're literally a couple of days away now. This was just kind of to get all of my latest thoughts out there, all of my speculation, everything, just dump it out on the internet a couple of days before Fright Nights. And I hope you guys have enjoyed the video. Obviously I don't usually do this breakdown stuff, so it's very, very interesting for me, as well as for you guys watching this new type of content. But yeah, if you guys want me to do more stuff like this in the future, potentially just before the parks open, you know, next year. I know it sounds like a long way away, but that will fly straight by. Obviously, I will obviously do that as well. But yeah, I'm very, very excited for Fright Nights, and this will most likely be my last video before Fright Nights as well. Obviously, as usual, there'll be loads of updates across social media platforms, as well as obviously my YouTube channel. I'm kicking off a Halloween event that's going to start from the beginning of, or the end of this week, running to the end of next week, which is going to be very, very interesting. There'll be Fright Nights videos daily, hopefully, fingers crossed, if I'm able to film what I want to film. And yeah, it's going to be very, very exciting. So for Fright Nights on this channel, it's only just beginning, and it's going to be very, very cool and very, very scary, hopefully. So yeah, with all that said, I will see you guys later.